Right now it's 6 o'clock on Connecticut's news station. Breaking overnight, the State House did pass the governor's 2-year budget plan. Angelo Bavaro will share what's in it for you should it pass the Senate as well.
Several people accused of dangerous street takeovers have been arrested. What we're learning from state police this morning.
Also breaking while you were sleeping, an attack on a dam in Ukraine has officials pointing fingers at each other this morning, but there could be disastrous consequences. We'll tell you what we know so far right now at 6.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And first at 6, an air quality alert issued for our state. Good morning. Thanks for being with us, I'm Erica Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Let's get right over to meteorologist Matt Scott. Here we go with the wildfire smoke again.
We've been watching smoke from the Pacific Northwest. We've been watching smoke from Nova Scotia, which has gotten rain lately. Now we're focusing on kind of just in the Great Lakes region, and that's obviously a little closer. And with that southeasterly direction into us, the smoke intensifies. Smoke and sun in the forecast today. We'll look for some scattered showers, maybe a storm or two, and it remains unsettled for the most part. It is filtered sunshine at best out there, the sun coming up as we speak, and with that film over it, it's really eerie looking. Other than that, we're quiet for now. Again, a northwesterly flow, so that smoke coming straight in, and there's the sun, if you can see right there. That's it right there. It's it's there. You can't really see it with the clouds, and it almost looks like some low clouds and fog as those pollutants are trapped in the mid-levels of the atmosphere. 60 degrees in New Haven right now, 52 in Hartford, down to 48 in Meriden. Your chances of rain pick up later on this afternoon. Not going to rule out an isolated thunderstorm. I don't think anything's going to get too strong. Temperatures not very warm, only slightly better than yesterday as we get into the mid-70s. We'll talk about the rest of the week, have a look at other rain chances and when we shake this pattern up. Come on back for that. Here's Lauren Zenzi with a look at a filtered sun and as a result, not a sunny glare morning for the Road Warriors.
Yeah, I don't think sun glare is going to be an issue today, Matt. Good morning to you. Good morning, everyone. No crashes or incidents out on the roadways. That is some good news to report. We do have some road work to get to, though. Over on Route 2 in East Hartford, we've been seeing intermittent lane closures over on the east and the westbound sides right near exit 5A. Expect lane closures in this area, but as of right now, things are actually looking really good. Taking a live look out on Route 2, you can see traffic is moving freely. We do see some construction cones out there, but overall really not much to complain about. In and around the capital city, 91, 84, and Route 2 Glastonbury to the Founders Bridge will take you about 6 minutes. Everything moving right at speed limit at this time. And then as we head down into Fairfield County, we are still and starting to see some heavier volume starting to build in the Stratford-Bridgeport area on the southbound side of I-95. If you're trying to choose between 95 and the Merritt Parkway as of right now, because there's no crashes and no construction on the Merritt might be your better bet. We'll check back in on the roads coming up at 6:30. For now, Tim and Erica, back over to you.
Lauren, thanks so much. Well, meantime, the state's 2-year, $51 billion budget is moving forward at the state capitol. Yeah, lawmakers in the state house voted overwhelmingly to pass it on to the Senate early this morning. The vote was 139 to 12. It happened right around 1:45 a.m. Now, we've got Angelo Bavaro with us here in studio because he's been poring over the budget to find out what's in it. Good morning.
Tim, Erica, good morning. That budget, as you mentioned, that now heads to the Senate for a vote, and the final step is for the governor to sign this thing. Now, this plan appropriates $25.1 billion for fiscal year 2024 and just under $26 billion for fiscal year 2025, falling under the spending cap in both years. Now, among those big takeaways in this budget, it includes the largest state income tax cut in Connecticut history. That move targets the middle class by cutting the 3% and 5% marginal income tax rates. The budget also eliminates more retirement income taxes and increases the earned income tax credit. Now, on the education front, the budget includes more than $240 million for public education and also expands debt-free community college. The state budget also includes a 2.5% rate increase for most nonprofits, but some of those organizations are calling that increase insufficient given the state's massive surplus. And also raising some concerns this morning, Secretary of the State Stephanie Thomas, who says the budget does not include enough money for early voting, which also passed this session.
You get the elections that you pay for, right? So to underfund something as important as our elections, I think is just asking for trouble.
I think it's something we are going to have to revisit next year. And again, not just look at funding for early voting, but also help logistically on how the towns are going to implement it.
And notably not in this budget, no increase for the pass-through entity tax, no child tax credit, or the full amount Governor Lamont wanted to erase medical debt. And the clock is now ticking for the Senate to pass this budget as the legislative session that ends tomorrow. Tim, Erica, I will send it back to you.
Angela, thank you. All right, Connecticut State Police say they arrested several people after the recent cases of dangerous street takeovers.
Fox 61's Brooke Griffin is live in Middletown this morning with the update there. Brooke, good morning.
Good morning. We actually just switched to Waterbury. We've been on the move this morning, but that's because Connecticut State Police say they've had a lot of help from other local law enforcement agencies over the past couple of days, including here in Waterbury, and they say they were able to make 3 arrests over the past 2 days, and that's all because they're now also launching a campaign against these racing and takeovers that they've been seeing over the past couple of months, and they have revealed 6 different billboards across the state this week, all with the message of you race it, you lose it. CSP saying they are serious about putting a stop to these racing incidents and takeovers. State police say that they have made those 3 arrests and they were all part of the final phase of their investigation. They tell us these dangerous street takeovers have been happening all across the state in multiple times a week, resulting in shootings, assaults, property damage, car crashes, and people getting hurt. Now they want to use the billboard as a constant reminder of the consequences. CSP tells us on Sunday night they arrested Flor Hiram Santiago after observing him driving a stolen car with a drag race chute attached to the back. He's now facing 10 various charges, including larceny and racing. A few hours later, police also arrested Hannah Bartolucci and Tennessee William Torellis Hernandez after they were spotted racing at more than 120 miles an hour on I-84. They both are facing at least 3 charges, including racing. Troopers say this is not just a Connecticut problem.
This is a nationwide problem, and it's something we're trying to deter here in Connecticut, and hopefully we could set a standard that the rest of the nation that's dealing with this crisis can use to help stop all these nationwide.
And state police say if you do happen to run into one of these drag racing incidents or even come across maybe a street takeover, they don't want you to intervene or get involved. They just want you to immediately call 911 and then leave that area. Live in Waterbury, Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Brooke, thanks. We'll check back throughout the morning. All right, to Southington now this morning, where a former theater director is facing accusations of sexually assaulting several students who were minors. 45-year-old Daniel Takeovers turned himself in on Friday. Now, his arrest comes after a 2017 complaint against him, saying that the alleged incidents happened between 2008 and 2016. Now, in addition, Takeovers is facing a civil lawsuit filed in 2019. According to the victim's attorneys, the theater director used to work with teen theater programs and had inappropriate contact with many children over a number of years. Now, this leading to a civil lawsuit against him and multiple theater companies.
All of them have to do with Daniel Takeovers, who was either their theater director or a supervisor, for lighting or other technical aspects of theater. And during that time, unfortunately, he sexually abused these girls.
The victim's attorney says criminal charges are a step in the right direction for this case. Takeovers he is expected to appear in court on June 16th for his criminal charges. The criminal case against him is set to go to trial in 2024.
This morning, a young man who was badly hurt in a hit and run now has his parents by his bedside after they came to Connecticut from Ecuador Sunday morning. 17-year-old Brian Callie is still in a coma. He was hit by a car in Waterbury while riding his scooter home from work 2 weeks ago. The family's attorney said Brian's parents have forgiven the driver who hit him. and their focus now is praying for a miracle that Brian will be okay. But the family said he is still in poor shape.
He is a young man who came to this country literally to pursue the American dream.
He don't have any
Bad feelings.
bad feelings. He don't bad feelings of him. He's gonna forgive him. He's gonna pray and forgive for him.
Police accused this man, 58-year-old John Egan, of hitting Callie and then leaving the scene. In the arrest warrant, police accused him of having at least 16 alcoholic drinks at 2 bars before the crash.
This morning, a New Milford man is being charged with the murder of his mother. Police say 34-year-old Eric Megan called police on himself at about 8:30 Monday morning. Megan is accused of telling officers that he murdered his mother near the Still River near Harrybrook Park. Police say that he stayed on the phone for several minutes describing exactly what happened. His mother, 56-year-old Victoria Palmer, was found still alive. She was taken to the hospital but died a short time later.